Before this video starts, I would like to inform you that Things You've Missed is for people who are new into the series and are looking to get into it, as well as fans who are looking for more in-depth information of episodes that are aired on a weekly basis. If you already know everything that has been explored in this video, then there's no need to comment it in the comment section down below, because this video is not targeted towards you. With that being said, let's get on with the video. Welcome to Things You Missed. It's a series in which I cover things which you might have missed, or I just take a few things and explore it in depth. So without delay, let's start with number one. Number one are the differences in manga and the anime. Okay, in the manga, new characters such as the class rep Iwabe and Denki have never been introduced, meaning that, you know, maybe they were not planned or maybe they were hidden specifically for the anime only. But the main point here to note is that the anime and the manga are following two different continuations of Boruto. Now here we go on to number two. Number two is the classes which Iwabe and Denki are going to be in, because from the point number one, we know that there have been changes where, you know, Iwabe and Denki were not introduced in the movie or in the manga. So the fact that these are introduced, well, I'm trying to guess where these characters are going to be put. And in terms of teams, we have Team Konohamaru, right, which is Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki, and then we have Team Moegi, who is Inojin, Shikadai, and Chocho, and I'm guessing that Udon, who is the third member of Team Ebisu, will also become a teacher to lead the Team Udon, which will probably consist of Iwabe, Denki, and the new class rep. But then again, if you look at the intro, there are quite a few girls in there seen next to Chocho, so definitely these people are going to be in new teams as well. And also, I would like to mention that I think there are 3 new girls, meaning that there are going to be 3 new teams because every team consists of 2 guys and 1 girl. Number 3 is minor, but it's about Anko, and Anko was a pupil of Orochimaru. Now, the changes that she has had is that she has become a little bit more larger, and that is because she was always seen eating dumplings, and I think maybe the fact that she never stopped eating them made her actually gain a lot of weight. So, you know, Anko used to be really good looking, but now she gained a lot of weight, and I don't think she's able to, you know, do a lot of the things that she used to be able to do back in her ninja days. But I think the fact that she chose to be an academy teacher has a lot to do with it. Before, she used to wear something see-through underneath, and since she gained weight, she decided to cover it. So thank God, because we don't want to see that shit. Since ninjas are not in high demand, that caused a lot of them to become out of practice, and since Anko is one of these ninjas who does not do ninja related work anymore, she just feasted herself on these dumplings, and obviously that is what she became. So there you go. Number 4 is whether Iwabe is actually kawaki. Okay, now let's look at the pros and cons. The pros are that they are wearing similar clothing, and the fact that Iwabe's hair is mostly hidden, so we don't know whether he dyed it yellow or not. And secondly, Iwabe and kawaki have a similar kind of behavior character wise. The third clue could be the staff, because Iwabe has a staff and kawaki also has a staff, which are both black. So, you know, maybe it is a little hint that Iwabe might be kawaki, but at the same time, maybe this is just like a teaser character, because they know that fans look into a lot of the hints that they give them. So this might be a setup character to make us think that Iwabe is actually kawaki, but then they surprise us with the reveal later. So think about that. So yes, there is a huge chance that maybe Iwabe is kawaki. However, if you look at kawaki's hair, it's black, and Iwabe's one is brown, but at the same time, kawaki dyed his hair kind of blonde. So, you know, maybe it's Iwabe who dyed his hair black and blonde. Maybe Iwabe is kawaki, maybe he is not, but at the same time, let's not confirm things that we are not sure of, or, you know, has not been officially revealed. So all we need is patience, and eventually they will reveal who kawaki is, or maybe kawaki will be a new character who will be introduced later on down in the episodes. Number 5 is a little memento we got from the Chunin exam. Now, if you watched the original Naruto series, you would see that there was a Chunin exam which Boruto and, you know, his team are about to undertake, but in Naruto's version, there was a 1-to-1 match staged in a room which has the same hands doing the ram hand seal. Now, this whole room has been compiled into like a training room for all these ninjas to test their abilities, but it's just a little memento of Naruto part 1. And the same goes for the settings, as there was Hinata who was, you know, worrying about Naruto fighting Neji, which has been replaced by Sarada worrying about Boruto, and then we have all these people sitting there. So pretty much the whole stage has been set, just like the Chunin exam in the first part of Naruto. So that's a cool memento to have in just the second episode of Boruto. Number 6 is a cool reference of Sasuke vs Kakashi at the time when Sasuke tried to get the bells during the first test in episode 5. He tried reaching for the bells by using a combo, and, you know, Boruto used the same combo in this episode. It was animated by Studio Period, and they were the same people who animated the scene where Sasuke was trying to grab the bells from Kakashi. So this means 2 things. It foreshadows Boruto's future relationship with Sasuke as a teacher, and it also is, you know, a cool reference and homage to the original Naruto series. So be sure to go check out that scene in episode 5 of the original series. Number 7 is a huge misconception that I'd like to clear up. Okay, so it has something to do with Boruto's eye and people thinking that he is able to awaken the Tensegan when Boruto does not actually have the requirement for a Tensegan. So here are what people are saying. People are saying that Boruto should be able to awaken the Tensegan because he has some kind of connection to the Otsukis, because Naruto was the reincarnation of Indra and Ashura. So, you know, since he has a connection with Indra and Indra has a connection with the Six Sage who has a connection with Kaguya, that means that Naruto has a lineage of Otsuki within him. But even the reincarnations of Indra and Ashura do not pass the whole reincarnation trait onto their offspring. If that is the case, then that must mean that Naruto is actually a family member of Hashirama, but we know that this is not true, meaning that the whole reincarnation thing is only selected as random. It doesn't mean that it can be passed on. The second thing that I'd like to explain about the whole misconception thing that people are talking about is the chakra, right? In this fight, when Boruto was fighting Iwabe, he had a lot of chakra, and Iwabe was asking himself how Boruto was able to keep up with creating shadow clones, because we know that the shadow clone jutsu actually requires a huge amount of chakra. Now, the reason why Boruto is able to create that many clones is because he has a huge chakra reserve, right? Uzumakis have a huge chakra reserve, and that is why he is able to create multiple clones without exhausting himself. Also, people think that because Naruto is a Jinchuriki, he actually passes some of the tailed beast's chakra onto his offsprings, but that is not the case at all. The reason why Naruto was able to make a lot of shadow clones is because he had a huge chakra reserve, and also when Kushina gave birth to Naruto, Naruto did not inherit the slightest of Kurama's chakra. It was all sealed within Kushina and it stayed there. There's a reason why there is a seal on it, and there's a reason why a seal has been put in place to keep the tailed beast there. So that is the misconception that I'd like to clear up. And number 8 is that the new generation are actually better than the old. We have not seen a lot from all these new generation kids, but if you take a good look and analyze the whole situation with these people, they are actually talented than the old generation, right? And let me list some reasons why. So we have Inojin, who has the colored super beast scroll, right, which is colored. So this guy actually has time to, you know, make his drawings and color them in before summoning them to attack instantly, at the same time when Sai can only draw and just make them attack instantly. So his reaction time with Sai is pretty much on par, but at the same time this guy has time to actually color them in. And the thing about Inoji's super beast scroll is that he draws cartoons instead of just, you know, old-fashioned drawing. So it's just something to symbolize that, you know, modern times are dominating over the old. So we have Sarada, who already has a Sharingan, right? For a person her age to have the Sharingan is a huge advantage. And then we have Mitsuki, who has Sage mode. This guy can literally dominate every single person, or at least a regular Chunin with Sage mode, maybe even Jonin, which means, you know, that Mitsuki is really talented and has a lot of power. Now we have Shinki, who is Gaara's adopted son, who actually can control iron sand. Now this is something that we've only seen Kage do. And now we have Iwabe, who is using Earth Release. Now we didn't see none of this stuff except Sharingan until like the Chunin exam, when people started using chakra natures and all that kind of stuff. That's when we got introduced to all that kind of stuff. So, you know, and the second part of Naruto is when we actually started seeing a lot of these kind of things. So the fact that all these kids have these abilities at their age, that means that they are better than the old generation, because they are starting out with better powers and abilities, and we don't know how much damage they can actually do with the abilities that they have right now, as well as what to expect when they grow up. Maybe that is a huge pointer as to why Kawaki is so strong and was able to destroy the leaf. But then again, we don't really know if Kawaki did it alone. Maybe a battle already ensued there and then he came back to fight Boruto. There are endless possibilities on that situation, but the whole point here is that the new generation are better than the old ones. So number 9 is that the pairing wars are about to start again, because I can see it. So we have Sarada here, who has, you know, little feelings for Boruto, but it's there, and she is hiding it on the sly. But we know that Sarada actually has a crush on Boruto. But at the same time, we get introduced to this new class rep, who we don't know the name of yet, who also, you know, apparently has, you know, some kind of worry or some kind of, you know, sense of emotion towards Boruto, because Choshu asked why is she worrying, and then she quickly blushed and said it's because she's a class rep. But then again, we've seen things like this so many times, and, you know, it's hinting towards the fact that she may have a crush crush on Boruto. So now the pairing of Naruto and Sakura versus Naruto and Hinata has finally been settled. So I think this is what they are going to use to tease the fandom from now on. So for all these pairing obsessive fans, I'm guessing that this is your cue to step in, but at the same time, just make sure that you are focusing on part of a huge story which you should normally be enjoying. You should not really step into an anime just looking for one thing. This is where it occasionally leads to, you know, people raging and going out of character to express their frustrations. But I have already, you know, talked about this in my video where I explained the reason why Naruto ended up with Hinata. So if you want to check that out, just check that out in the ending cards of this video. With all that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have any theories? List them down and I might put them in my best comments. So, you know, don't be afraid to do that. And obviously like, subscribe and hit that notification button if you enjoyed this video or my content in general. Also make sure to check out some of the fun videos at the end. And with that being said, I have nothing more to say. Bye.